So I would like to begin this video by saying a huge thank you to the Boruto anime because they have been proving me wrong for the last 3 weeks, and this is quite literally everything which I wanted to see from the anime, and I'm just so glad that this is actually happening right now. A month back, after watching the Kashin Koji vs Ishikawa Tsutsuki fight, I was kind of a little disappointed. I mean, it was not inherently bad or anything, but I was just not that interested into that particular fight, and therefore I made a video and I told everyone to just keep their expectations in check for this particular thing which is about to happen. But the anime has proven me wrong here, and I'm just so glad about it because this is quite literally everything which I wanted to see from the Boruto anime, and it's just beyond a shadow of doubt right now. The anime has surpassed the manga for sure. I don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but at least for now, the anime has definitely surpassed the manga. Moreover, if you're talking about this episode, the first half was fine. I mean, it was pretty decent and pretty good as well, with some interesting Sakuga choices, Borushiki form, and even a very big incident for the character of Sasuke as well. But for me, the numero uno moment, the most important moment of this chapter or this episode was the second half. It was just done fabulously. It was just beautiful. So hello and welcome to Wonder WhyZ, and thank you so much for joining in. In this video, we're going to talk about Boruto episode 218. But before that, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to our channel since I do weekly anime and manga related content along with a bunch of other stuff. With that being said, let's just jump into it. Now, the first half of this episode, we get to see the conclusion of Ishikawa Tsutsuki. And now that it's done and dusted, I can say that Ishikawa Tsutsuki was a really bad villain. I thought that the anime is going to expand upon him a little bit, but now it's just done and dusted. He quite literally dusted away just like the snap from Infinity War, and his time was up, and Kawaki quite literally outsmarted him by using the Kage Bunshin. Now in the manga, it was a little more surprising because we didn't knew that Kawaki was actually practicing these moves, so it really came out of nowhere. The anime on the other hand already hinted us that Kawaki was trying to explore ninjutsu, so that is a pretty good thing in my opinion, and this particular incident is going to go all the way back to the time skip moment as well, where Kawaki, at least now, has his faith upon the shinobi world, upon the way of the shinobi, but in future, because of some distraught events, he's going to lose his faith over the shinobi world, and that's why he's going to proclaim that the era of the shinobi is over. But beyond that, we finally get to see the ending of Ishikawa Tsutsuki. It's done and dusted. The karma which was bestowed upon Kawaki was actually the Kage Bunshin, or the shadow clone of Kawaki, and the real Kawaki came out of nowhere. And after all of this is basically done, Sasuke goes up to Naruto and checks upon him to ask him about this particular power because this definitely had some sort of a drawback, and just then, out of nowhere, Borushiki came and stabs the Rinnegan. It's not Rinnegan anymore, it's Rinne-Gone. Tata, bye bye, the Rinnegan is gone. Yeah, I'm gonna make some separate videos talking about these things because the Rinnegan has sort of some importance here. I'm not gonna make this video longer just to talk about the Rinnegan aspect and what is going to be the impact about it in the future of the series and what is it going to be for Sasuke as a character. Also, I don't really feel like this is going to be a huge nerf for the character of Sasuke. I mean, sure, it's a nerf power-wise, but someone can say that, okay, why didn't Sasuke just sense Momoshiki coming at this moment? There's some pretty big reasons about it. One reason is a manga spoiler, I'm not going to give it right now, but the other one is that Momoshiki always wanted to target that Rinnegan. It's one of those things which had really haunted him a lot when he was fighting Naruto and Sasuke back in the day. So it was always going to be the main target for Momoshiki to essentially destroy the Rinnegan, and that is exactly what's being done here. Moreover, Boruto has been totally taken over by Momoshiki right now. His voice even is actually being overrun by Momoshiki. Now these are some of the extra touches which only the anime can provide, and that is absolutely on display here because Boruto's voice is no longer audible here. Prior to this, when Borushiki form debuted during the Boro fight, it was a mix or a blend between Boruto's and Momoshiki's voice, but that is not the case anymore. Momoshiki has quite literally taken the entire control over the character, or rather over the body of Boruto. Now the first half of this episode essentially deals with all of these shenanigans. Sasuke has now lost his Rinnegan, but still he's not out just as of yet. He tries his hard to, punch and kick and go after Borushiki, and just then he discovers something that Borushiki is not using the karma because he might awaken Boruto after he has absorbed some form of a chakra, and owing to this he's trying to exploit this particular weakness of Borushiki But soon enough, Boruto uses a vanishing Rasengan upon Sasuke and he's done and dusted at that moment. So the only remaining solution for Kawaki right now is to use his very own body. He burns his very own body because that's the only way in which Boruto is going to absorb the fire, so that he does not want his sacrificial lamb to get any harm, because Boruto reveals here that Kawaki's body is still 80% Otsutsuki. Even though Ishiki Otsutsuki is dead now, his body is still 80% Otsutsuki, and that is more than enough to feed him to the divine tree and to harvest the divine fruit or the chakra fruit. So that is a pretty big revelation for people, and this is something very interesting. But while all of this happens, Boruto slowly regains control over his body after some of the chakra is absorbed by the karma mark, and he essentially breaks the control that Boruto has over his body by breaking off the arm, and he returns to normal now. This is pretty good, and this was the first half of this episode, but now comes the most important part, and that is the second half. Where should I even begin this one? Oh my goodness. Naruto and Kurama. This scene is miles better from the manga, like from what we saw in the manga. Anime has surpassed this scene, and this is everything which I wanted to see. Here in the anime, Naruto is at least talking about Himawari and Hinata before he's supposedly going to die. In the manga, we didn't get to see jack shit of that. In the manga, Naruto was not even bothered about Hinata, his wife, his daughter. I know that the manga has its issues in relation to how it is paced and how it's a monthly show, so it cannot really implement everything. But still, this is a very big moment which was not really done justice in the manga, but the anime thankfully did the justice here. In the anime, Naruto is not just talking about Hinata, not just talking about Himawari, but he's talking about literally everything. How he sees Kurama as his own brother, because Kurama initially talks about how Sasuke was a brother to him, but to that Naruto replies that no, Sasuke is his friend and all, but Sasuke already had a great brother in the form of Itachi. Oh man. Just listening the name of Kitachi from Naruto and adult Naruto, Hokage Naruto, that's just amazing. That is quite literally, quite frankly, amazing. Like Naruto acknowledging Itachi after all of this time. He had acknowledged Itachi since a very long time, but now seeing it again in the Boruto series, just the name drop of Itachi makes my heart go just happy. And this was quite literally amazing. And Naruto initially thought that he was going to die along with Kurama, but there comes the twist in the story. It was Kurama. It was the chakra of Kurama which was totally extinguished, and he's the person, or he's the being that is actually going to die at this moment. It's not going to affect Naruto because here the situation is a little different. Here the Jinchuriki is not getting detached from the chakra, but rather here the tailed beast is dying in itself, so it's not going to cause any harm to the Jinchuriki. But this is Naruto we are talking about. Naruto is quite literally, he literally admits it that Kurama is his brother, so for him to lose Kurama, this is a huge thing. Just have a look at his emotions, his eyes. The OST is on point here, the animation, the entire framing, storyboarding, everything is just on point. And the references and the callbacks and everything is just so damn good. And I'm so glad that the flashbacks didn't actually happen in the episode in itself, but rather they were implemented into the ending. While the ending song is being broadcasted, we get to see the entire life of Naruto and Kurama. Before the episode ends, we also get to see Kurama like seeing Naruto grow up from a child to an adult. But here in the ending scene, in the ending song sequence, we get to see the moments from the entirety of the Naruto series as well as Naruto Shippuden. We get to see the moment of pain versus Naruto. We got to see the war, the first KCM transformation, the fight against Tobi. This was just so good. This was everything which I wanted to see, and in the very end, we see all the Bijus together. But Kurama is not there. All the other Bijus are there, and Kurama is not there. The callbacks in the scene, the entire scene was just so damn good. Naruto reminiscing about the past with Kurama, talking about the time when he got to know about Kurama's real name. All of these things are just fabulous. And in the end, Kurama just vanishes into thin air. His chakra fades away completely. And in the end, we see Naruto waking up in the lap of Sasuke, and Boruto is there crying out. And all of these scenes, mind you, are some of the additions given by the anime. And this quite literally was amazing. So this was Boruto episode 218. What do you guys think about all of these things? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. See you all on the next one. In the meantime, be sure to subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Also join the channel membership for some very cool perks and features, and join our Discord server for more. See you all on the next one.